Good evening here, Daniel and Soccer Expansion Project. Hope we're well. A busy day, but wanted to go through what the soccer expansion is and then our topic today. And here's a little clue. The title of it is Goldilocks. That sounds strange, but anyway, well, wait till the end, as they say. So the soccer expansion project, if you imagine on the right hand side, obviously this is to do with the sport, anything that you think or could think of that would have somebody be better at the sport, be more aligned with trying to provide more opportunities for kids. So you want to start a club, you need some administrative advice. You want to work with players, you need help. Coaches need help. Retail opportunities, might need technology. Parents might need support, some guidance. And then people might be looking at building a soccer complex or purchasing a franchise, So anything that would support the game, with the mission being, if I was to scroll over, that for me at least, I want the idea of community and a big idea of impact. And that big idea of impact is to know that sports can save kids, and soccer is the vehicle that I most enjoy playing, coaching, being a fan, even of Leicester City right now. And from that, if that's true, if we can say that sports can save kids, how can we make things better? Right, giving opportunities, finding a way to gain some expert knowledge, chat, support, webinars, PDFs, presentations, forums, offers and access to certain things and educational resources. So on this right-hand side, we are lining up lots of people to come on board to partner with the program. And more on that soon, but we're building this platform. And on the left-hand side is everybody, me included, players, coaches, clubs, DOCs, TDs, parents, fans, all coming together through this portal, this membership area that's being built to find a way to support the game. So the topic of today, for a quick 5 minutes, is the idea of Goldilocks. So this sounds silly, but there's Goldilocks, and I have a question that says, does it really have to be just right? So Goldilocks, of course, was the fairy tale. She didn't like the porridge because it was too hot or too cold, and then she found one that was just right, and she ended up getting caught. But forget Goldilocks. This is a silly thing. But I'm going to start with some of the things that we might want to see from our players as we coach them and work with them. So my question would be to any coaches out there, in terms of skills practiced or developed, what types of things would you want to see from players? Scrappiness, I love that one, by the way. Making the best of a situation, powering through, grit, determination, spirit, steeliness, adaptability, flexibility, bravery, faith, trust, persistence, doggedness. So again, I've not spelt that right. Dogged. Oh no, I think you would want to see those things practiced. You'd want to see the players in your club or your high school or your academy or even the kids on the street have those skills and have the chance to practice those skills. So that's the output. That's where we want to be. Excuse my Windows security features. But that's the output. That's where we want to be. Well, how do we put kids in situations where those things get practiced? So if everything is just right all the time, as it was with Goldilocks, do they really get an opportunity to practice these things? They don't. If everything's perfect and everything's laid out and everything goes to plan, none of these things come into play, and none of the kids get to work on those things. Think about the things that are needed for life, things that happen, all of these things. And I go to a thesaurus, there's probably a million more, are things, are attributes that we would want our kids to have. And, I believe that, of course. So within our environment, within coaching, with being around kids, why don't we challenge that? Why is it? So here's a few things. Hey, coach, my uniform is just not quite fitting. I don't have the right number. I want a different number. The score line's troublesome right now. We're losing 1-0. The refs are not so great. We should get rid of these refs. The opponents are too difficult. We should get easy ones. I've had an off day, so I'm not going to come. The weather, it's raining right now. Training doesn't work. I do something at 6 o'clock. The game time, I wish it was earlier in the day because something else is happening in the afternoon. I'm playing left back and I'm normally playing left midfield. The list goes on and on and on. The field conditions are not perfect. Why aren't there floodlights? Why isn't Johnny at the game? Why isn't Sally at the game? Where did our goalkeeper go? Why is the grass is a bit too long? The corner flags are, the list goes on and on. So what do we do as coaches? Do we just say, get on with it? This is adversity. This is contrast. This is where you get to learn. We should, shouldn't we? If we're agreeing that those things are needed in order to develop these skills for kids. So we've had a phrase in a couple of our programs, and one of the phrases has been, can you manage? So players have come running in, Danny, my shorts are, a tiny bit big. Can you manage? And the players will often go, yeah, I think I can, and the list goes on, right? Oh, we've got training at 5 o'clock. I think, that's gonna be. Can you get there? Can you manage to get there? Yeah, I can. And they start to sort of check off this thing where they can get through. They can have a little bit of discomfort. That's part of being part of groups, part of being on a sports team. So my question would be, whenever kids or players come up to you and start to sort of not whine or complain, but when they question, oh, you know what, this is not ideal for me right now. This is not smooth. This is not, I always talk about friction, like the marble on a track, right? Marble on a track just goes on and on and on. It's slightly downhill, so it doesn't stop, and life is fine. Well, let's put some pebbles on there. Let's make the marble chipped. Let's turn the track this way up. That's life. All of a sudden, the marble goes backwards, right? Go deal with that. Again, if we agree that these skills are important for kids, we should be building that in to these types of things. Hey, you're going to play centre back today because somebody's missing. Oh, but I can't, I'm not playing. Do I have to? Yeah, you're going to manage. You're going to get through. And anyway, so I think it's something that's very practical. Again, I go back to this. If these things are important to us as coaches and as teachers for kids, then we need to find ways to see them uncomfortable with what's going on. Give them some sort of adversity and contrast and have them practice these skills. So that's my little thing today. I call it Goldilocks. And, the same applies to parents too. Right? If something's not perfect, do you get an email from a parent saying something's not perfect? Something's not ideal. So, my kid needed to be playing centre mid for this amount of minutes in 70 degrees and sunny weather on a turf field really close to my house, or else we're out. And I think that's happened a lot with the parenting side of things. Is we've received emails at times from parents saying, alluding to that, like, my kid didn't get past the ball, so what's going on? I don't think this program's for us. Well, hang on a minute. It's not going to be perfect. That's sport. That's life. So let's, I get a little thing here. Like, let's get back to having kids challenged a little bit. Not in any nasty way, but like, this is and parents. This is what it is. This is the real world. Show your kids some determination. Okay, if I'm talking to my kids, okay, Parker, okay, Simon, this isn't ideal for you. It's on a Thursday, and now you're missing out with another. You've picked something. Well, let's go do it. It's the way it goes. It's not ideal. I'm not going to email somebody and change their schedule. We got to commit to that. So anyway, I think I've made my point. I hope I have. But we call that Goldilocks players or Goldilocks parenting, where everything has to be just right, or else there's a problem. And again, we want kids to be able to have and practice these skills. So that's the soccer expansion project for today. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one pretty soon. It would really help. Everyone says this, of course, subscribers and likes. That would really help us right now as we're trying to gain traction. And more to come with regard to the rest of the program. So yeah, thank you. Cheers.